How's it going? Story time. No music, right? Silence. This is story time. Serious story time, with the balance aspect. We're going to take 16 minutes to listen to a specific chapter in Dr. Joe Dispenza's book called Becoming Supernatural, which is a continuation of You're the Placebo, which is, again, continuation. I should say expansion from that, You're the Placebo, which was an expansion of changing the habit of being yourself, one for the other. Becoming Supernatural is the latest one. So, again, time to break your fucking skepticism, because we're talking about actual neuro-linguistic programming, all right? I could even go back to listen to some of the old Tony Robbins tapes that has correlating information with this. I remember Tony Robbins spoke about that, about how commercials would program you. Television program. Okay? So this is something that once you understand, you can flip the edge. But you want to break out your fucking skepticism and listen. For those who do. For those who are still stuck in that skeptic mind. I understand. Again, there's an aspect of programming that puts you in that state. And so it's not your fault. But right now it's time to listen up. Because when I heard that years prior, way prior to whole Coco-19, I was like, I only had a similar experience, but it wasn't with television. It was with a family member, my mom. I think I told about that story. Go take this thing or else you're going to get sick. Go get tack or else you're going to get sick. Go please put your coat or else you're going to get sick. What's the last word that the subconscious picks up? Sick, sick, sick. What's the imagery that it picks up? Sick, sick, sick. 4 times a year, man, I was sick while I was living over there. So I don't fuck around with neuro-linguistic programming. I do not take this shit lightly. And this is also why I say, I'll tell you later, okay? Listen, story time.
Chapter 8, Mind Movies, Kaleidoscope. I just finished a keynote lecture on a Saturday night in Orlando, Florida. The following morning, while packing my bags in preparation for my afternoon flight home, I turned on the television to catch up on the political situation in the United States. It was in the thick of the 2016 presidential election, and since I had been out of the country traveling and lecturing over the previous 3 weeks, I was curious about what had transpired during my time away. I quickly surfed through the channels to find a news station, set the remote down, and while halfway paying attention to the TV, continued packing. Suddenly, a commercial came on that caught all my attention, and in an instant, I understood why we called television programming. The commercial began with a nighttime exterior shot of a couple's home. As the camera zooms in on the house, the words, Night 14 with shingles, appears on the screen. When the shot moves to the interior, tender yet foreboding music plays while an elderly man moans in pain at the foot of his bed. His concerned wife enters the room and asks him how he's doing. "It hurts," he replies. In the lower right corner, in a tiny font, almost the same color as the background, are the words, Actor Portrayal. The wife walks over with a look of despair and slowly lifts her husband's shirt, revealing huge red scabbed lesions covering more than half his lower back. The imagery is shocking, grotesque and horrific, looking like nothing less than a large third-degree burn. In my 31 years of practice, I've examined hundreds of people with shingles and have never seen anything that looks so severe as the manufactured lesions in this commercial. I immediately knew it was designed to evoke a strong emotional response with the viewing audience, because it certainly did in me. Once you see the rash on the man's back, the commercial achieves its goal of commanding your attention. Because the portrayal of the rash is so arresting, It changes the way you are feeling from only a few moments before your present state of watching it. The moment the commercial significantly changes your internal emotional state, it causes you to put more of your attention and awareness on the source of the disruption in your external environment.
Which is?
The stronger the emotion it causes, stimulus, the more you lean in and pay attention, response. This association of stimulus and response, or conditioning, is how long-term or associative memories are created. The process of conditioning begins by pairing a symbol or an image with a change in an emotional state, a combination that opens the doorway between the conscious and subconscious mind. In the case of the shingles commercial, now that they have captured all your attention and begun the programming process, you can't help but naturally wonder what they're about to say next. The commercial continues with a somber male narrator. If you've ever had chicken pox, the shingles virus is already inside of you. As you get older, your immune system weakens and it loses its ability to keep the shingles virus in check. Using emotional branding, this is the first instance where the commercial raises ethical questions by telling the audience that the immune system weakens with age. Next, we see the man in the bathroom looking at himself in the mirror. He looks worried, broken, and defeated. The scene changes to his wife talking on the phone in the kitchen. "I just can't stand seeing him like this," she says. Next, we see the man doubled over on his bed, palm to forehead, wincing in pain. The narrator then makes a direct suggestion, reinforced by the same words appearing on the screen. 1 in 3 people will get shingles in their lifetime. The narrator continues while the same words remain on the screen. The shingles rash can last up to 30 days.
One key note to keep in mind: 1 out of 3, or 1 out of 3, but you never get the spectrum. You never get the actual number of people in which that 1 out of 3 was said. Key note, remember, it's been played with us last year too. Sneaky fuckers, huh?
To his wife, pleading directly into the camera. "I just wish there was something I could do to help." Again, we see the man in pain, and on the screen appear the words, 1 in 5 people with shingles will have long-term nerve pain. These words remain on the screen for the remaining narration, which says, "Some people with shingles will have long-term nerve pain which can last a few months to a few years. Don't wait until someone you love develops shingles. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about your risk." Take a closer look at what this commercial is attempting to do. First, it puts you in an emotional state by changing how you feel. Once it captures your attention, you immediately become more open and suggestible to the information that follows. Now that you're more prone to accept, believe, and surrender to this information without analyzing it, if you're feeling fearful, victimized,
accept, believe, surrender. Remember, last 2 years. Trust the science, trust the science, trust the Fauci, trust the science. Accept, believe, surrender. Extreme left looking like extreme right, huh? Let's keep going.
vulnerable, worried, shocked, weak, tired, or in pain, you're more susceptible to the information equal to those emotions.
Susceptible.
You might start wondering if the ailment could happen to you.
Could happen to you.
At various points during the commercial, certain facts appear written on the screen, allowing you to read along. This serves to reinforce the programming. Also, while the thinking brain is focused on reading the copy, the content of the narration slips behind the conscious mind and into the subconscious mind. Like an audio recorder, it records the entire script and creates an internal program. Next, through a direct, literal suggestion, The narrator has instilled fear in you by personally suggesting you already have the shingles virus in your body, and that because of the natural process of aging, your immune system is no longer strong enough to take care of the virus. This turns on your emotional brain, the seat of your autonomic nervous system, allowing it to become programmed. Once the suggestions make it to your autonomic nervous system, it takes the orders without question and gets busy making chemical changes in your body equal to the literal suggestions. In other words, your body is going to subconsciously and automatically be programmed to weaken your immune function.
That's why I say 10,000 years in hell is not enough compared to what the people who set this whole Coco-19 up are going to face in their life transition. Just a repetition in the subconscious activates your fucking system to abide by it. Hypnosis is not this only this. Neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, mantra, affirmation, all of it connected. That's how you can easily get fucked. On top of the systematic reduction of your immune system by, we've already been through this. Let's continue because there's more examples. This is really good. This is juicy. This was like maybe way before. Like 5 to 8 years. Okay? And if you're still like, no, this source, it's not proven, it's not tested by science. Okay, cool. Go check out Tony Robbins, Personal Power 2. 1990? They made those scientific studies. You can fuck yourself by actively just saying so. Like, again, you ain't basic bitch. You can literally actively make yourself sick by repeating it over and over again. And then you have commercials that can fuck with you. Television. Programs. Like, this isn't some conspiracy bullshit. This is how your actual system works. But we haven't been taught about that. We haven't been even given the surface level of psychology. But hey, you got to dissect a frog. You got to learn about photosynthesis. You got to do all sorts of algebra that you're not using. Who the fuck is using pi right now? No one. So, this is just to kind of get your mind to understand that we haven't been taught about the importance of our own thoughts, how it works on our system. And then, lo and behold, see? So it's not your fault, but it's about time to get that skepticism out of the fucking way and do your own experiments with this shit. Do your own researches. And don't just clap, 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 trust the science, clap, 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 trust the Fauci. This ain't a science church, all right? This is you doing your own experiments, getting the field of progress, looking at various other materials, taking that fucking time instead of going on Netflix. Ain't nothing wrong with Netflix, but you gotta balance your time out. All right? Let's continue. Let's get some more of this shit, And this is fun, playful. This is just to bring this to you. But I'm raising the tone and using some of those terminologies for you to kind of get this in your head that no one's going to do it for you. Only you. And that also, it ain't your fucking fault. But you got to get that hype up and start looking at this shit. Take your life in hand. Or you can just go back to being drugged up with Netflix, video games, TV, and all that shit. As well as some bitter weed. But in the background, your subconscious is still getting programmed. So, hey, you ain't got anything to bitch about. anymore. Because you actively, after understanding this and listening to this, you've actively kind of known, okay, I understand this, but I will actively not do it. Fair. Ain't my job to make you do it. It's no one's job. You actively have to do it yourself. So there's no whining once you know. There's only, okay, how can I make it easier to learn? How can I make it easier to set some time up for this? All right? Let's continue. Roll that beef footage. Audio.
Conclusion, you're at risk, and you'd better not wait until you contract it. The commercial's effect goes even a little further. If you've ever had chicken pox, and after watching this you think your immune system is weak because of your age, you will decide you have an even greater need to prevent getting shingles. So you will be even more motivated to buy the drug. If you happen to be the person who has shingles and you're watching this commercial, when you see that your condition is not as severe as the actor's shingles, you may find yourself thinking, I should take the drug now so that it doesn't get any worse. I don't want to end up like him. If you don't have shingles, at the commercial's end, you may still be left quietly wondering, am I part of the 2/3 of the population that is safe, or am I in the 1/3 of the population that will get the virus? If you think, I hope I'm not part of the 1/3, it means you believe there may be a chance that you're susceptible and vulnerable, leaving you unconsciously thinking that you already have it. You know what I found most absurd about this commercial? They never even mention the drug, which means they don't have to reveal its side effects. Since the commercial has now piqued my curiosity...
Keep the idea of side effects in mind, alright people? Keep the fucking idea of side effects in mind.
Stopped packing and looked on the internet for another commercial by the same pharmaceutical company. I wanted to know what drug they were suggesting would alleviate the severity of the actor's exaggerated, manufactured lesions. After a quick search, I found several similar commercials with the same theme and wording, but with slight variations. They all shared one thing in common, however. They were all designed to capture your attention. The next commercial I watched, a woman is wearing goggles and swimming in a lap pool. Everything is black and white. In a twist on the previous commercial, the narrator, speaking in an authoritative female British accent, is the shingles virus, and the narration is coming from within the woman's head. Impressive, Linda. Age isn't slowing you down, but your immune system weakens as you get older, increasing the risk for me, the shingles virus. I've been lurking inside you since you had chicken pox. I could surface at any time as a painful, blistering rash. Scene then abruptly cuts from black and white to color, and a man lifts his shirt to reveal the worst shingles rash you've ever seen. Again, the grotesque, blistering lesion can't help but attract your attention. As quickly as the scene turns to color, it returns to the swimmer in black and white. The commercial continues in a similar manner and formula as the previous one. First, make an arresting statement or show a shocking image to change the viewer's emotional state. Then cause them to be more suggestible to the information via the change in their emotional state. And finally, use auto-suggestion to make them wonder if they already have shingles. This ad also infers that even though you might be healthy, work out and take care of yourself, you can still become a victim of the virus, further suggesting that no one is immune. Again, the words on the screen reinforce the message.
Wow.
1 in 3 people get me in their lifetime. Linda, will it be you? If you identify with the woman in any manner, the voice is talking directly to you. The tone of the commercial then changes as a new male narrator begins speaking in a confident, light-hearted tone, devoid of worry or concern. In a similar British accent, the voice says, "And that's why Linda got me drug X." The scene remains in black and white except for the woman's bathing suit, her swim cap, and the name of the drug, which appears on the screen in large, sophisticated font. Now the drug has been imprinted into your brain at yet another level. Once again, the ad has created an association between your health and safety and the drug that will protect you.
Safety, huh? The fear that triggered, here's the safety. Machiavellian. Woo! Let's continue.
Tagline comes on the screen as the narrator reads it aloud, stating that the drug helps to boost your immune system against shingles,
Ooh.
to help protect her against you, shingles. At the end of the commercial, the narrator says drug X is used to prevent shingles in adults 50 years and older. The drug is not to be used to treat shingles, and it does not help everyone. Here's the punchline. You should not take the drug if you have a weakened immune system. Whoa, what? Back up. Here's the irony. They just told you that as you age, your immune system weakens and you're at a greater risk for shingles. The drug is supposed to strengthen your immune system, but you shouldn't use it if you have a weakened immune system. Now comes the dilemma. If you still choose to take the drug, you believe the drug to be more powerful than your possibly weakened immune system. The programming worked. What the clever, if not unethical advertisers understand is that this message is confusing and disorientating to your conscious mind. At the same time, however, they are programming your subconscious mind with the idea that your immune system is weak. You probably already have the virus within you, and chances are high that you'll get shingles, even if you are healthy.
High chances.
In addition, you are told that without the medication, you are likely to suffer, even though there is no guarantee that the shingles will go away easily, and that it still might not work if your immune system is weak.
Maybe after the 15th booster, it might. Maybe. 15th? We'll see.
Finally comes the side effects, which are not side effects, but direct effects.
Effects.
A shingles-like rash, redness, pain, itching, swelling, hard lumps, warmth, bruising or swelling at the injection site, and headache. Talk to your doctor if you plan to be around newborns or people who are pregnant or have a weakened immune system, because the vaccine has a weakened version of the chickenpox virus, and you could infect them. Wow! I started to wonder what planet I was living on. This type of programming makes you wonder if we really have free will, or if we're all making choices based on what we have been conditioned to believe is the answer, whether that's a certain type of beer, shampoo or conditioner, the latest smartphone, or a pill that may or may not provide relief from the shingles virus you may or may not even have. Most of the time, advertising appeals to lack and separation by reminding you to want what you don't have, desire what you need to fit into a social consciousness, or satiate a feeling of emptiness or loneliness. And of course, in this case, if you're sick or feeling like you're sick, the advertiser has the answer to your symptoms. In one final search, I came across a similar commercial with the same theme. An actor dramatically suffering for 17 days. The shocking exposure of a huge lesion, and words on the screen to influence the viewer's thoughts while reinforcing the same content. Like the other commercials, this one explicitly informs the public that the drug is not used to treat shingles. But at the end of the commercial, the handsome man smiles and declares, "I think I'm going to give it a try." Meanwhile, I'm left wondering why he would give it a try if he already has had shingles for 17 days, especially if the drug doesn't treat the condition. Now I'm really confused. Years ago, I learned in my training that by definition, hypnosis is a disorientation of the inhibitory processes of the conscious mind, bypassing the analytical mind so that one becomes highly responsive to suggestions and information in the subconscious mind. As the conscious mind is busy and preoccupied trying to figure things out, the subconscious mind takes it all in without discretion. If you can disorient people with information, or in today's world, disinformation, shock, or confusion, you just open the door to programming their subconscious mind. In this chapter, we're going to learn how to do the opposite and positively reprogram the negative programming we've been conditioned to for most of our lives.
Thank you, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Thank you, Tony Robbins. And thank you to all of the workers in psychology that started to branch out their practices to connect the dots and become much more up to date than simply listening to Freud or Jung. That has been in systematic academic idiocy, cretinity of only staying to past sources instead of getting up to date and then having different experiences, as well as not demanding, but asking modern day people about their step-by-step experiences instead of simply victim shaming them and just going, I'm only going to follow the Freud, I'm only going to follow the Jung. That's not science. So I think this new generation and all the people that, it's nothing against Freud or Jung. It's just the idea of only sticking to past sources. It's like how people only stuck to the Old Testament for a while. Doesn't work. So let's just switch to some music, okay? Because this is a bit of a somber state, okay? But I'm gonna bring the mic a tad bit closer because I left it over to bring. Okay, I felt this was something to kind of keep in mind. All right, you can be easily programmed with a hard-hitting emotion to get your focus there, and then be given the solution afterward. Half-truths, because side effects are actual effects. You don't fuck around with that. It's not saying possible side effects, it's possible effects, added effects. Now, I know some of you have already connected the dots. We've been through this multiple times. But it's just to show you, this ain't some spiritual shit. This ain't some pseudoscience. Break out your skepticism, okay? It's all connected. Mantras, affirmation, incantation, repetition. That's why I said, when it came to what they've done to guys in general, when it comes to this whole Coco thing, neuro-linguistic programming, non-consensual hypnosis, on top of the systematic reduction of your immune system. The stress, not going outside, vitamin D, the dunk in, dunk out. Oh, you're gonna get it in though. Oh, you're gonna get your Christmas in though. Stresses your system, builds your immunity system, and then whatever's in those fucking things as well. Now, some still want to play, and yes, there's an aspect of compassion towards it, but there's also an aspect of, hey, there's no more time. You can just, not to be, how do you say, cruel, but you're going to become a lemming falling off the mountain. And there's just no more time to think about or to spend on you, in that sense. It's like certain people just keep arguing, wanting to argue, hit that wall of argument. They're not even based on their own experiments. They'll only take someone else's article or someone else's saying, but they won't connect the dot. They won't even do their own experience. And I tell you, just ignore them. Unfortunately,
That's how deprogramming can work. If you just keep getting hammered in fear, your mind is just programmed to go, okay, just like you can connect it to ancient religious church, you know? The devil, you'll never see it, but if I tell you, hey, the devil's there if you do this, or think this, or this, the thing that you do not see will put fear in you. You will be scared. You will not want to actively just go against it because you cannot see what is that big evil. And at that point, boom, got you under my control. You my bitch. You my mental bitch. You know, in a sense. That's what's been happening to grandparents and prior generations in regards to church. So we're going to do the same thing with science now? Happens. Some people are still under that hypnosis. That and the third one. The third slap. The third strike. You know? Nano machine, son. Fucked up. Smart dust. Look it up. So, alright. What do you do with this information? Just like the rest of this audio, you're gonna just reprogram it. It's basically doing the inverse. Literally. What, you think that because you were programmed in fear and diminishment of your immune system, you couldn't reprogram it the same way? Fuck no, you can do it. Just do it the same way, it's the exact same way. But you're not doing it for evil. Which is why I keep saying 10,000 years in hell is not enough compared to what these people will experience in their life transition. And I already explained why. So, this was just to give you some extra homework, in a sense, you know? Or some extra boost. You can check out these cool-ass audiobooks that will talk to you a bit more about it. And as you practice it, look at other books, connect the dots, alright? Quantum physics, that kind of science. Religion, metaphysics, they all have interconnecting dots. It doesn't matter which country, it doesn't matter which time, okay? The one thing is, you do not stay stuck in dogma of only this one thing, only this. No, you don't stay stuck in that, alright? We're the bubble of generation that's kind of kicking down the door here and going, fuck your dogmas, fuck your only one and done. We got internet, we can check all of it. So, love, like a video game, you level up by basically, no, more than that. You're much more efficient at the game by gathering as many tools and as many techniques as you can and as resonate to you. There's a fine balance, okay? You don't need to gather them all. There's ever expanding one, so there's no all or end to it. But you get the ones that work with you, okay? And you are open to testing things out and then going, okay, well, that doesn't really go with me, so what do I prefer? See, you become a bit more of an active MMA fighter, mixed martial arts in a sense. You're mixing it all. You're becoming the spiritual bender in a sense, you know? And that's fucking cool. Because at that point, you're basically you're grasping more and more tools for yourself and to be able to facilitate and help others with their own, or coming from their own one way or two ways or whatever. It becomes easier to communicate with certain people, alright? But you don't force it, and you don't need to. It just becomes a bit of a natural flow. You see, this is where we get into non-duality. There's so much more thing than, oh, you don't do it or you do it. No, there's so much more. There's nuances to it, alright? That's where we're at. So, oh, the court case is already happening. UN is already sending documents to various police force. It already started, alright? You see how they're getting grilled in court? So, this is happening worldwide. I just want us to wrap it up in the West. Wrap it up in Canada. Wrap it up in the US. So that we can help the third world countries stop their fucking Coco Gestapos. Because once you see footage of people getting pulled out of their home to be forced to take something that's not actively working for them because of neuro-linguistic programming, yes, at one point you want to go full Anakin Skywalker and literally kill the people that did this, but don't. energetic repercussions, okay? Don't. That's not the example. That's not what we want to set out in this world, okay? They're gonna have their time in jail, and believe me, as they know and as they understand a bit more what they have done while they spend their life in jail, and also as they start to realize that they will face this in their life transition, which, why 10,000 years in hell is nothing compared to that moment, they will face each and every life which they affected. Here they gave the order and they didn't shoot the bullet, but it still had an impact. And that will put goddamn fear in them. Do evil, karma comes back. Alright? So, you don't need to go full Anakin on this. It's only gonna have negative repercussions. Just understand how it works. Work with it in yourself. Practice it. Search for more material, connect the dots, and facilitate it for others. It's not that you must do it. You might not necessarily even feel the need to do that. You might do it in a different way, too. You might just be a shining example of a person that's really fucking happy, and that's all you need to be, being yourself. See, you don't necessarily need the active one. You see, it's not one or the other. There's a nuance to it, alright? So, let's do this, people. We got the knowledge, we got the data, we're facilitating it for people, so have that fun. Kick some ass and balance the anger, because, you know, they're getting their karma. It is inevitable. Have that fun, people, alright? I did not press the pause button. Now I will. So you gotta be playful about this shit, right? Become playful. Understand that this is literally crime against humanity and a subtle genocide. But the fact that we've spotted it now and we saw all the intricate factors and united as a world understanding this, it ain't coming back. The petty people losing power, it shall be engraved upon their soul. So have fun with this, people.